to startups, and we all know that hyperloop is not going to succeed tomorrow morning. And the professor was telling very clearly, 20 years, 30 years, that is the target we all have. Society is willing to wait. That is more important. When you're looking at this kind of project, the society is willing to wait. It is not that society is placing so much burden on you, saying that tomorrow morning you do it, day after tomorrow you do it. And more importantly, when two young gentlemen like you sitting here, you must be about 22, 23 now. So you're willing to give 20 years of your life to this. That's more important. And when a human being has decided to give his youth to a project, please understand that. This is not an easy thing. And you can just get in, start a company, 3-4 years, do an exit, come out, make money, buy a beach, oh, that's a different thing. But here as a student unit, cohesively, you have decided that, yes, I'm going to put my heart and soul into it. You have to solve thousands of problems in the next 20 years, solve one material science to everything you got to solve. Right now the society might think it might not work because the Virgin Hyperloop, one Hyperloop is shutting down. The money they are selling it and coming out, they felt it's unviable. The Nevada desert, whatever, the track they have created, again they are selling it off. Now a country like Dubai with so much money, the Dubai Port Authority, DP World has bought it out. If you look at the world, how the hyperloops are behaving, it is not very encouraging per se, because the big guys want to do an exit and they don't want to put more money there. And Virgin has completely come out. You know the story, everybody knows the story. But we should not be bothered by that, because somebody has gone to Henry Ford and asked him, how did you get a car? You all know the very famous story. Henry Ford clearly said, if I had gone to people and asked whether you want a car, people would have said, I don't know, I don't want a car. I want a faster running horse. Because people just can't imagine what a car is. People are so used to driving a horse that people must have told Henry Ford, give me a faster running horse, that is better for me. But there is always a pioneer, probably a risk taker, probably that crazy guy. Probably the world might call them as foolish, whatever names we might give it to you in the next 5-7 years. One guy has to believe and say it is possible. That is why Shiv Shankar sir is sitting here. Kamakoti ji is able to create a lot of startups, and young people are willing to put 20 years of life into it. So one, to answer your question, society itself has started embracing change. Like Professor Kamakoti ji said, I am possible. I was thinking, you are here. IIT Madras is here. Possible, the word is here. I think in IIT Madras everything is possible. and possible combining. Impossible becomes possible because you have done it in Guru. In Agnikul, we were just watching with a lot of wonderness the kind of thing you are able to do. So it is possible. You just have to be patient. And you have to understand, this is a country where things are slowly getting its own pace, bullet train. When we conceived the project, it was 1,06,000 crore. Now it is 1,60,000 crore. Because there is a problem with the land acquisition. Now it has shot up by 54,000 crore. Now the question is, still the country has to go ahead and do it. Every project you do an interest calculation and say, the cost of interest is 1%, it is 0.5%, it is unviable, I am not going to do it, then probably you cannot get into the future. America is always a great superpower because they were able to think far ahead. Let's just look at chips. There is a Fairchild semiconductor company, then Intel came, then they want to put it in a missile, then they took it to the space mission, then they made it chip. One fine day in 1980s, they decided the cost of one chip from $100, they brought it down to $2. They said, I'm going to make it commercial so that people can take this chip and start putting in commercial things. That's the history of chip. One fine day, the government of America thought, I'm going to make this military technology to a commercial user so that I'm going to cut it down by 80% the chip cost. Now where are we? We are talking of 13.8 billion chips in one transistor in the latest Apple iPhone. So 100% I'm very sure the country will stand with you. And this kind of investment is humongous. And the problem you are trying to solve is just out of the world. And we can't even imagine 20-30 years from now how the world will be. So just you have to trust the society as a whole investing on you and government playing a role. And the Honorable Prime Minister, the Kamakoti sir, was telling himself, might be inclined to come and start the project. Then the world will come and see in IIT Madras what we are capable of doing. But my only thing is be patient. It's not an easy thing. A lot of failures you will see 100%. But be at it. And when we solve the problem, you are advancing humanity by multiple civilizations and centuries. Because Hyperloop comes, you are reimagining every single thing. Madras to Bangalore, sir was telling just 20 minutes. As net zero carbon neutral, there is no carbon that is going to be safe, no accidents. And people can do so much things in their one life, which is 70, 80, 100 years, how many years we live. If Shiv Shankar sir is able to crack that code, probably 120 years in the next 1 year. So much we can do in one life. So just be attentive, be patient. Just don't get bothered by small problems you will face here and there. Next year the society will stand with you more. Maybe 5 years from now it will stand with you more. 10 years from now it will stand with you more. Just be at it, things will happen. Thank you.
That was the wise word, sir. Sir, this comes up to be like this entire conversation gives an idea that we need to make a startup. We need a strong relationship between academia, government, and industries. So, coming to the problem of hyperloop specifically today, like in hyperloop community, it is more of a student research till date. It hasn't been have a more awareness among corporate section, and government is also supporting, but not all over the world. I would say Indian government is supporting us a lot, thanks to railways and railway ministry. But I just want to know how should we have this more deepened relationship so that the hyperloop concept now will go from student to corporate and be commercialized.
So, see, when mobile phones were introduced in 1997, right, around that time in India, the outgoing call was 20 rupees, incoming call was 30 rupees. And nobody thought you will use the mobile phone for anything other than talking. Today, incoming call and outgoing call are free, right? You pay some 199 rupees, I think, free. And we use mobile phone for everything other than talking, right? So see, what I'm saying is, why was mobile a success? I think that's one clue that you need to take. Mobile has been increasingly people have been trying the whole mobile community, as you say, the chip vendors, the fellows who made the phone, the assembly, the software, the Android, iOS. They have been continuously trying to see that this becomes more and more useful to the people. Today, many of us do not even have alarms are gone. Torchlight is gone. Calculator is gone. So all simple things have come as apps. Today for music, tambura is gone. Even the electric tambura was that, no, I have this here. I practice music, I use this. Tabla is going off to meet the rhythm. There's the exact sound, beautifully highly synthesized sound. So, the great thing there was that there was a platform, and then people were actually allowed to create applications which can use the underlying hardware and give certain facilities. Right? So these are some things that, the mobile became a revolution, and today you can't live with the whole office runs here. I actually cleared 2 files sitting here in this meeting. It was an emergency. Okay. So just extending this concept, the way hyperloop we should go, nobody will trust you unless you show something working on ground. And that's where, thanks to India, hyperloop is relevant to India because we have 1.4 billion population. Say another 20 years down the line, probably it may touch 1.6 or 1.7 or whatever. Now, in a country where we have more population and that leads to traffic congestion, but there is a need for mobility, there's a need for transporting goods. I think that's where the whole thing comes in. One of my colleagues went to Germany and his son had a small problem in the eye. So he went to a doctor there, and the doctor said some 3,000 euros you need to spend on this. How many surgeries you have done? He said some 8 surgeries. Next week anyway I was coming here, he came back, went to Shankar Netralaya, went and met the doctors, and he said same 30,000 rupees. How many surgeries? 2,000, 3,000. So, right? So this is the scale in which our country works. This is the scale in which our country also demands service. So that will be the reason for your success, but the pathway to your success essentially means you create a platform. That 422 meter track that we are putting at Discovery Campus will lay the foundation for India's hyperloop future. That foundation basically will be a demonstration where we can at least transport cargo up to cargo in a long pipe and prove certain levitation, all those things that we are claiming on paper today with some models at TRL 6 we can show a TRL 9, TRL 10 demonstration there. I think once that is done, I see, this is how I feel from our port to Coimbatore, that transportation can happen. One example. So port to airport, airport to port, harbour. This is one first level big hyperloop investment that will happen. Because now people will also go with the amount of traffic, logistic increase there. The ports are now going to be evaluated on the approximate time, or say exact time the needed for actually transporting the good in and out. With an hyperloop, you will not have this. Go to the port in the morning, just go for a walk there, you will see some 100 lorries sitting in a queue just to get entered into this. So all these things will stop. I think that will be very, very important. When 15 years before, somebody from Taiwan came and talked to us for setting up a fab in. The only thing he wanted in return was that I make the chip, sir, within some duration. You tell me the duration, say 1.5 hours or 2 hours, but 2 hours, it must be on the FedEx plane. It must be on the Blue Dart plane. I can't now go stand, now you don't say green channel, blue channel, red channel. It has to be on the plane. Otherwise I am gone. Right? So, logistics will become very important. And as our industry grows, this shipment, correct shipment, accurate time precision, all these things will come there. And that will also be a moral boosting stuff. So we will see hyperloop from, say, harbour to airports, etc., from industrial hubs to airports, and from airport to cities. So these are all some of the places where we will see a very good thing. Interestingly, IIT Madras, Premvatsa is the owner of Bangalore Airport, and already we started some discussion on between Bangalore City and Bangalore Airport, can I have airport? But why it has not progressed? Because this test track should be ready. The moment you conduct this hyperloop competition and become successful, certainly the first order for the hyperloop company will come from Vatsa. I am very confident of this, and that's where we start.
First of all, the topic of today's discussion was how Hyperloop will disrupt India's economy. So I think you've given a very convincing idea of how Hyperloop can be used in a real life idea. And you've also helped us crack a business deal if we make a test track a very successful thing. And sir, one more thing I wanted to ask is as Hyperloop is like a very Hyperloop is a technology which will require very big investment. The cost for this investment can also shoot up after the project starts, as ANNAMALAI sir also said. So especially in the initial phases when we are starting to make our first Hyperloop corridors, as we have thought from Chennai to Bangalore. So sir, what I wanted to know is with several other problems also plaguing the nation, with major problems such as education, etc. and whatnot, I wanted to know should such large-scale infrastructure projects be implemented, and what will you say for the naysayers of Hyperloop?
I think this best is, when India was not even thinking about computers, he came with not just Shiva PC, Shiva XT, Shiva AT. I have worked on 1985, 86, the first computer I touched was Shiva Shankar's computer. I think that's So I think the best person to answer this question is Shiva Shankar.
Okay. Let me explain to you why people buy drill bits. They have a requirement for hole. If you don't have a requirement for hole, will you buy a drill bit? First, what you should do is, you innovate. You have started worrying about things which doesn't concern you. Innovate, replicate, integrate. Keep your integration. Your simple question should be, how can I make money today, sir? I have not completed technology. Set up this as a research project and sell this to 20 foreign universities. Ask them to pay money. Take that money. Director told you one thing, subtly. Please prove with your 443. Okay. See, when I started ESL, I was the first guy who said, old Tamil Nadu local car. And then I said, for receiving call, you don't need pay. Third thing I said, after night 10 o'clock, it's a perishable inventory. Today, whatever electricity we don't use, perished. Today, whatever hotel rooms we have not used, perished. Whatever time you have not used, perished. Okay? So we are a perishable inventory of time. So I said, night 10 o'clock to morning 6 o'clock, don't pay anything. That was the first 2 years, the largest amount of love marriages happened in Tamil Nadu. You are worried about India's problem. We have a CEO, Prime Minister Modi, he will find we are going to make a 5 trillion economy. Only 2% of the people are paying income tax. For that itself, India is so rich. You imagine what happens, 60% of the people pay income tax. You are worried about things what you don't need to worry. There is a word in English, nowhere. Now, remove the W from where and make it now here. You are now here. So continue from here. And then you make yourself attractive. Then investors will come. Don't go and beg here. We are not here for begging. We are here for attracting. All of them for your dating also. Okay? You have to attract. Demonstrate your ability that you have a future financial resources. The whole country will be with you. People like the word profit. Nobody likes loss. Okay? So demonstrate that. I will tell you a small application. Don't go to airport and in the hospitals, if you have 1,000-room hospital, the patient case sheet has to be transported. The drug has to be transported. The IV injection has to be transported. Come out with a small loop, where from one room to another room it will go fast. See, think of the technology like this. When Marconi or whoever has invested telephone, they removed the distance from you. You don't need to be in front of me. That is what he did. Whether you called from America or called from in the Leela Hotel lobby to me, what the phone did, it removed the distance. What the mobile did, you can be going in car, I can be traveling in my private plane, we both can talk. It gave a mobility. Okay, your hyperloop per kilo cost comes down very cheap. Time is money. So the demand will come. You are worried about things other than technology. You focus. You need focus. Only one word. Sleep with the focus. Wake up in the morning. Don't think anything other than hyperloop. Sleep with hyperloop. Your dream should be hyperloop. Okay? Then you will live for hyperloop and win in hyperloop. Okay? You are asking questions to your director who is responsible morning to evening to run IIT, not business.
We actually sleep with hyperloop, sir. We usually work in our offices for like 4 a.m. in the morning. We actually sleep with our...
Congratulations. Your hard work will be... See, yesterday I went to a college. I told, success is defined as skill plus luck. Great success is 30% more skill which you can hire. Okay? And tons of luck. Okay? So create tons of luck. Okay? And make sure you achieve your objective. Okay?
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. You have given us more ideas as to how hyperloop technology can also be implemented in the healthcare industry. Thank you very much for that, sir. And you know, I have one more pessimistic kind of question. So now, Indians in general, the public views foreign implemented technologies to be more sophisticated and more better than the indigenous type of technologies. And you know, with no proof of concept of hyperloop in India and even around the world, how do you think we can, you know, tackle this challenge? And also, can you provide some sort of structured plan as in phases as to how we can implement hyperloop step by step?
Asking questions, give me experience how I will parent my child. First thing, you get married. The child will come automatically. Okay? Now, first thing what you should do is stay afloat. Keep on talking about hyperloop. When someday hyperloop happens, they should not forget it. Okay? Keep working till it doesn't matter whether Koreans make it successful or German make it successful. You gave me Bhagavad Gita, you know. In Bhagavad Gita, when these guys are fighting, the Swamis on the side, they all said, Jayamunda Vittu. But they never mentioned who has to win. So likewise, we should chant, hyperloop, let it win. We really don't care whether you win or Germany wins or Delhi IITM wins or Calcutta wins. Winning is required. Once a winning is required, winning is done, proof of concept is proven. Because you are there, you have a yearly mover advantage. You understand? Yes. And because you have a yearly mover advantage, people will consider you and you will be able to win. Let us cross the bridge when it comes. Right now, worry about what your director has said. Show me the proof in 443. Kaila maavu, vaila dosa. Adu kudutadhukku appuram meedi ella worry. Okay? Yes. Thank you. You have any other questions?
So we all have got a very detailed answers and very insights from all our three guests. So I just want to give a glimpse about the Global Hyperloop competition, the GHC. As all the guests, ANNAMALAI sir, Koti sir and Shiva Shankar sir has guided us that we needed a strong collaboration between industry, academia and the government to make this Hyperloop technology a reality, and we also want to make a community out of it. So this is what GHC aims for, to make a very inclusive community for the Hyperloop technologies. And for this, we are conducting a global Hyperloop competition in first quarter of 2025, and we are also doing this in the world's largest student-run vacuum tube, which is 422, which is at the 3U campus, as Koti sir said. And we just want to show you a small video and to our guests that we have made for the competition 2025. Can we have the video? Entire world for the GHC sir.
There is nothing that will be more thrilling and exciting than exploring into a very, very new technology and field. Hyperloop is such technology which the world is looking forward to, that will address a day-to-day problem of people, specifically both in logistics and also transportation. And this is a wonderful opportunity that if you have any ideas that you would like to experiment, you think will succeed, this is a wonderful opportunity for you to showcase at an international level. I take this opportunity to welcome all of you to participate in this competition and demonstrate your ideas. Thank you.
This should be the slogan. Welcome to India. Your visit to India itself will make you successful. Thank you.
I think when you do this kind of a pioneering idea, borders don't matter. As young minds, the whole world is yours. You belong to a single human community. And we should not be very parochial in approach. That is why in 2025 we have decided to call the whole world to IIT Madras to showcase their skills. Let the whole world come here, see the best of IIT Madras. Let IIT Madras see the best of the world, so that humanity as a whole wins. Thank you.
I think we can play the video now.
Namaste from India. I am Kamakoti, Director, Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. The competition will be conducted in world's longest student-maintained test track of 422 meters.
We are able to actually develop a full-fledged vacuum tube track for Hyperloop that allows students to come in and test their entire stack of Hyperloop technologies. This will actually spawn a significant amount of technology development from across the globe that will lead to the standardization of all these technologies.
One of the most unique things of this competition is from inception to completion, everything is managed by students. Even the track and the tube have also been designed by the students.
We invite students from all over the world to come over here and make use of the facilities that we have and make Hyperloop a huge success in the world.
Looking forward to meeting you all in Parivahan 2025.
Today's podcast has inspired the youth of India and even abroad, and I hope there are a lot of more Hyperloop teams which are created at the other institutes of India. And now I would like to open the floor for discussion, and anyone in the audience can ask a question if they want to one of our chief guests.
Thanks for arranging such an esteemed panel, so thanks for that, and thanks for giving me the opportunity. So I kind of have a question to Mr. ANNAMALAI sir. So sir, we live in an age of a perception. I'm a student, in a perception, I have to be good at things. We build startups. Our value proposition to a VC has to have a success as a metric of perception. Only then they'll give us the money. Now, you as an individual is in a contested politics, a performing politics, maybe not be coming from a family where your forefathers have been in the politics. Now, when you go and take, say, maybe sabbatical and at a time when, like, maybe your party has not performed really well in 2024 election, right? Now, how do you challenge those perceptions that it can be a holiday? You are taking a holiday. Like prior to 2024, leader of opposition, Mr. Gandhi, used to be a non-serious politician. There can be some similar amount of things can be said when you take those kind of holidays. How do you challenge those perceptions, and how do you, as a politician, come around from those perceptions? Thank you.
Good to see the IIT Madras students following what is happening outside, reading the papers and what people speak. So we need to understand, from my point of view as a person, when you start doing things very young, you are 38, 39, your learning and growth should never be stopped. Normally politics is full time and it consumes so much of your time and energy from morning till evening. You are engaged in some form or the other. But many a times you got to keep challenging yourself, and you go to the best places in the world, challenge yourself, study, understand how the world is getting shaped up, perceptions, politics, which ideology is taking root, why Europe is behaving in a certain way, why world politics is going in a certain way, why youngsters are thinking like this, why in many places you are seeing the notion of challenging the established order, be it in Bangladesh, be it in different parts of the world, and you look at the way the elections are happening in South America, it is all going towards certain rightist tendency. Now, it is important that you understand why it is happening, and that is my way of looking at politics. It is okay, it is not a single person dominant party. There are multiple peoples in the party, and people keep running the party. So that is why in a very considered view, I'm going on a 3-month study break to Oxford, starting 28. So 12 weeks I'll be spending in Oxford University. I'll be doing a course there and back a fellowship. And you keep doing it. It is not that last year I did an Aspen fellowship. I was in US for some time. And that is my way of always staying connected. So some politicians might take a holiday. For me, it is always a study break. And you got to work there, submit a thesis and answerable to the professors. And you have to do it. And after a point of time, I stopped caring about what people talk about you. That is very important. Like it's not a, and you got to have a goal, and you should be very clear where you want to go. And you got to be very clear where your organization has to go. And when you start reacting to every single person who has got an opinion about it, everybody can have an opinion. That is why I said, when somebody asked Henry Ford, would you have invented cars if you go by people opinion? People would have said, I want faster horses, not cars. Steve Jobs, for example, never went for a marketing research to invent iPhones. He just felt there is a need, there is an iPhone, people started buying. That's how your life should be many a time. But of course, you live in a democratic society. But for me, keep challenging, keep improving, keep doing it. And just go outside, because you cannot live in a shell also. Because in politics, what happens? You live in a shell where the world is very different. Why I come to IIT? Just to get inspired. It's not that I came here to give a speech. Who am I in front of Shiv Shankaran sir? Who am I in front of Kamakoti ji? So I feel energized whenever I see kids like you, when something new happens. I try and learn what is happening. So this is coming outside my traditional mode. You sit inside your office. 10 people will come and say, ANNAMALAI is great, this person is great, that person is great. That whole day will go. Now I am challenging myself to be a student. Go there, stay in a dormitory, no help, nothing. Start doing projects, run to classes on time, sit there for 3 months, 12 weeks and come out. So this is challenge, out of your comfort zone. That's how I see it. And at the end of the day, I don't get into too much into answering, convincing people, look, I have to do this. Who am I to convince the people? Everybody has got a personal life and everybody has got a professional life. And if you start convincing, how many people I'll start convincing? Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think we're running short of time, so we'd like to close the audience round now. Thank you, Kamakoti sir, ANNAMALAI sir, Shiva Shankaran sir, for this wonderful session. Your insights and words have further pumped up our spirits at the Hyperloop sphere of IITM to bring this technology to life. Our first step towards it, the Global Hyperloop competition, is scheduled for February 2025, and we'll be privileged to have you all at the event. We would also like to present GHC t-shirts to our guests and make you all a part of our ever-growing community. Sayan, could you please present it to the guests? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. Good day to everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you.